What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing. We're continuing our lake breakdowns out in Alabama. I mean, we were on a roll. We just did Neely Henry. It might as well go and show you a few of the other ones that we have out there. Tonight, we are actually going to go focus on Lake Eufaula. So this one should be a good one. We could call it Eufaula Lake 2, or we could just call it Eufaula. I don't really care. Let's just go out, let's break it down, and let's see what we found. Well, let's jump in and take a look at Lake Eufaula, Alabama. You guys probably saw the videos we did for Eufaula Lake in Oklahoma, or Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma. Now we're going to switch our gears and go all the way over to Alabama and show you guys what we've done for Eufaula Lake in Alabama. So this one was a pretty cool one. Lots of grass, a few channels here and there. We had some ramps, all that good stuff, but I'll show it all to you. I'm going to take this off. But real quick, just while we're talking, you notice here, we've got a lot of different lakes in Alabama. Not only do we have Eufaula, but we've got Gunnersville, Lay Lake, Logan Martin, Neely Henry. I just got that one finished. Pickwick, Wheeler, and Wilson, and we're going to continue to add more. I think Jordan's probably going to be the next one that I start to look at. So make sure to go out, check out the website, simplisticfishing.com, to pick up all these waypoints and get your digital files, your SD cards, all that good stuff for your graphs and for your mobile apps. So let's go ahead and take a look at Eufaula. What I've done is I've broken Eufaula into two different sections. I've got Eufaula South, and that's going to be basically anything south of this bridge right here. So if it's south of the bridge, south of those railroad tracks, then that's going to be considered Eufaula South. Anything above that is going to be considered Eufaula North. So you can see it up here. So let's go ahead and just take a look at Eufaula South real quick. So Eufaula South, one thing to note is there weren't a lot of fish attractors that I was able to find like online for this lake. I'm sure there's a lot of fish attractors in there that people have laid down, but as far as what I was able to find, I couldn't find a bunch, but there was one. And I found it out on some website, and it's right down here on the bottom. So let me take off. Actually, we'll just scroll in here, and I'll just show it to you. It's right here. So apparently, there's a whole bunch of cedar trees that are in a row right down here in this area, and those are going to be excellent fish, or excellent attractors to be able to find fish on. So you definitely want to take advantage of that for sure. Now, obviously, we've got a lot of other cover in here, so I guess while we have the cover down, we'll show you guys. So let me uncheck all this other stuff and just show you what we have for cover. So obviously that fish attractor, now like I said, there could be other fish attractors out there, but I just couldn't find any. For whatever reason, I couldn't find the coordinates for that. So anyways, you'll want to search around and see, maybe you can find some other stuff. Now we do have all kinds of other stuff. Like we've got this structure that's back here that you could fish around. We've got laydowns, we've got brush, we've got all kinds of craziness all up and down this whole entire lake. You can see it right here, and there you can actually see the looks like the state line. So all kinds of good stuff. Laydowns, again, structure. I think we had some brush piles back in there. There's a little bit more brush. Not too much going on in there from the cover standpoint. So then let's take a look at the grass. Now this lake has a ton of grass. I'm just going to pull it back and show you guys. These are all the different areas, at least in the southern region, where we were able to pick up the grass on Google Earth imaging. So again, if you're going out to do a lot of frogging or some swim bait fishing through the grass, definitely this is going to be very helpful to you in finding those locations. We've got the grass marked there. We've also got all the boat ramps marked. So anywhere there was a ramp, we went ahead and marked it for you. One, that can be a good place to fish, but two, can also be a great place to know as far as if you have an emergency on the lake, stuff like that. Then last but not least, we also have the rock. Now the rock could be shallow little riprap that you can fish. It could be rock that's a hard spot out on the edge. We've marked all those different areas. So let's say up in here, you can see we've got some rock off this point, also back in here, off this point as well. So just a lot of different areas. Not a lot, actually, for as big as this lake is, not a lot of different areas where we were able to find rock. But if we could find the rock, we definitely marked it for you guys. And then last but not least, we always have the channels. I said last but not least, we actually have another one, but we also marked the channels. So if you'll see here, what we'll do is we'll draw the water down. And when we draw the water down, just by changing the history up here, we can change the history back and forth to see where that channel is. And then we'll mark it with the track. As long as we can see it, we'll mark it with the track. And what that allows you to do is when you're out there fishing is you can stay right inside of that channel, which obviously if you've fished a lot, you'll know creek channels are key to finding fish. So that's really going to help you out, getting situated, getting set up right on those big turns and those bends where those fish typically would like to collect. Then we also have the offshore hotspots. Now, if you notice, when I clicked them, nothing actually happened. What happens is when you import these into Google Earth, it only shows them on the date that you imported them in. So whenever I imported this in to Google Earth is the date that it's going to push me back to for the import. But you'll see all these different offshore spots. And of course, here on Google Earth, it's really hard to tell why I picked those for an offshore spot. That's all based on contours. So what we did is we went out to Navionics mobile app that has the contours for this lake, and we marked all the things where the key areas where fish typically attract to, you know, points, ledges, humps, ridges, all kinds of stuff, you know, whatever you can think of from an offshore standpoint. That's what we were looking for, right? Flats, stuff like that. So what we did is we went out and we marked those as offshore spots, and then we import those into here so that we can have a whole collection of files that not only shows the offshore stuff, but it shows the grass, it shows the ramps, it shows the rocks, the cover, and the channels. It shows all of it together. And then obviously if you go through simplistic fishing, you'll have the card. So the SD card, you can plug that into your graph. It does the import into your graph. And then you'll also get the digital files where you can take these waypoints and import them into a Navionics mobile and have them on your mobile phone, or you can import it into Google Earth, which Google Earth has a really cool mobile app now that allows you to do the history. So that's a game changer. So importing this into Google Earth is super easy, and you get the files for it when you get it from Simplistic Fishing. So just point that out. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at Eufaula North real quick before we end this. Same type thing, right? We've got the channels. If I back this back out, I see one little channel that's right up here. That's the only one that I see. So we've got the channels, we've got the cover, lots of different laydowns, right? There's laydowns like crazy throughout here. So we tried to mark the most of them that we could, the ones that are pretty consistent. And then there were a few brush piles here and there that we marked as well. We've also got all of the grass, right? There's tons of grass in this lake. So we've got all those grassy areas marked for you. So if you're out there and you really want to hone in on the grass, you can dial it in pretty good here because you'll know exactly where those areas are. You've also got the ramps, not as many ramps up on this northern side, but still, pretty good handful. We've got rock. There's not a ton of rock, again, because this is more, just the way that it's set up. It doesn't really have a ton of rock, but we did and we're able to identify those spots that did have rock for you so you can go out and take a look at them. And then last but not least, we have the offshore stuff, which we talked about. This is all based off of contour mapping. So we went out, we looked at the contours and created these marks and then brought them into Google Earth. So definitely some high percentage areas for you to go check out while you're out here on Eufaula Lake. Or Lake Eufaula, however you want to pronounce it, or just Eufaula. You can call it whatever you want. There's so many different ways that I've heard it said. So anyways, that completes our lake down for Eufaula Lake out in Alabama. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure to go and check out the website, simplisticfishing.com. We've got these waypoints out there for you, ready to pick up. So don't forget, go out there, check them out. And until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.